What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Maverick Man 101. Got a video today from Alpha Male. Let's just get to it.
I don't like finding out that a guy doesn't like me anymore. That he's like over me. What is that supposed to mean? What do you mean you're over me? Like you've moved on. That's not how this works. That's not how this works, okay? I was supposed to go my whole life knowing in the back of my mind that you still like me, okay? I was supposed to think that every time I saw you, your heart did a little pitter patter, okay? Now you've moved on? What does that mean? That's not possible. I don't understand.
This clip kind of exemplifies how a lot of these women think that men are kind of here to serve women and that they couldn't possibly be there to serve themselves and be an independent entity that is not here simply to complement the experience of women.
The woman explained her perspective, saying that feminism is the primary reason men avoid modern women. She believes that modern women are aware of why they feel lonely, but they are unwilling to change their lifestyles.
Making these good men not want to be good men. I don't need no man. I can do it all by myself. Can you? Can you? I mean, I know physically I can.
I just wanted to stop it real quick. I wanted to very quickly just go back to this woman right here. And let's just take 5 seconds just to look at the sunken eyes that she has. Okay, I think that was about 5 seconds. So I think yeah, she kind of lost me from the start. She wants the guy's heart to go pitter patter. Ma'am, these eyes are dead. They're gone. She's been chatted out. Long story short, Chad and Tyrone have been absolutely mercilessly destroying her cervix, and they have other places to be besides dealing with this one. And she just can't deal with it, right? She can't deal with the fact that she can't make those guys commit. She can make them do something else, but she can't make them commit, right? Ma'am, you are not that person. Go find somebody else and settle down. Or go get some cats and some wine or dog or fish or lizard, whatever suits you, float your boat. But this woman right here, her eyes, right? She's starting to get the bags under her eyes. She got that kind of dead stare, right? This is the look of a woman who can no longer pair bond. She's gone. She done, bruh. I just wanted to stop it there. Sorry to stop it so quick, but I had to. She is gone.
These good men not want to be good men. I don't need no man. I can do it all by myself. Can you? Can you? I mean, I know physically I can take care of myself. I've been on my own since I was 17. Do I want to take care of myself all the time? No. Do I want to be independent all the time? No, I don't. Do I want to take care of somebody? Yes, I do. Do I want to make sure dinner is cooked and laundry is done and contributing to the household and taking care of the kids? Yes. Yes, I do. And then we got all you waffles out here ruining good men. They don't want to be good men because of feminists.
She elaborated that the principles of feminism, which advocate for women's independence and equality, have led to a shift in traditional gender roles. This shift has created a new relationship dynamic, where women prioritize their careers and personal growth over traditional domestic roles. While this has empowered women and provided them with more opportunities, it has also led to a mismatch in expectations between men and women in relationships.
Men are now at a point to where they're walking away and they don't mind being alone. Y'all have messed it up. Women, a lot of us have messed it up. And like I said, even surprisingly to me, like, I was noticing and seeing so many men, like, I desire family. I desire commitment. I desire marriage. I desire to have a woman. I want to provide for a woman, take care of a family. Like, men have been wanting that. But now you're starting to see more and more men become more and more comfortable with the idea of not having any of that, because men are valuing and desiring their peace over everything else.
According to her, men may feel intimidated or unsure about how to navigate these new dynamics. They might perceive modern women as too independent or not in need of a traditional partner, leading them to avoid pursuing relationships with them. Despite understanding this, many modern women are unwilling to compromise on their independence or revert to traditional roles to attract men. This woman suggests that the root of loneliness for modern women lies.
Sorry for all the headphone users there. Not sure what happened, but I did really quickly want to just kind of very briefly talk about what this woman here said, right? So, yes, ma'am, you know, feminism has lied to a ton of women. It's lied to all women, excuse me. So, and I've always said this, you know, I think feminism really just works for like the top 4% of women, right? Women who are already coming from like wealthy families, right? Feminism can work for them, right? They can change and influence laws and change and influence culture and not just change it for now, but they can change it for hundreds of years afterwards, right? Think about people like Margaret Sanger or I forgot the one girl's name, but she was like the granddaughter of John D. Rockefeller, right? Like where they come from money. So feminism worked for them, right? Margaret Sanger did things that have etched her name into history forever and ever, right? But for just the average woman, the average working $60,000 a year woman, feminism is not working for her. It's just getting her banged out on the weekends and leaving her with a bunch of STIs. That's it. And a bunch of baby deletions. That's it. So, you know, choices, man. Choices. Skip ahead a little bit.
For modern women lies in this refusal to change. They are aware of the challenges posed by their independence, but choose to remain true to their values and lifestyles, even if it means facing loneliness.
As a professional matchmaker, I see so many great women get declined by men for really silly reasons. So men, what are the main reasons why you would decline meeting a woman? Post your reasons in the comments attached, and I want to see if my theories are correct behind this.
In recent years, a notable shift has emerged in the dynamics of dating and relationships, driven largely by changing attitudes and behaviors among men.
I don't want to do this anymore. It doesn't seem worth it for the M&M. And I go, no, you don't understand. You won't be happy and fulfilled until you have an M&M. Also, you're going about it all wrong. You need to try setting good boundaries. But then you realize boundaries are just sticking your hand in the jar and just pulling it out faster than normal so you're not as disfigured and hurt. So then I go, hey, have you tried only picking the ones that give you money and then be mean to them so that they give you more money? And you go, I've been bitten by the maggots and stabbed by the needles and burned by the acid so much to know there is no financial compensation that makes it worth it. Also, I can't even find a normal M&M. How am I going to find an M&M with money? So then I call you a pick-me that deserves to get hurt because you won't evolve your M&M picking strategy with the times. Hey, doesn't that make you want to punch me in the face really, really hard? Did I mention that?
I'm really confused. Am I being dumb? I'm really confused.
All the while, the maggots and needles and acid are screaming at you that you're too stuck up and you need to lower their standards and be their surrogate mommy or else you're gonna die alone. But don't worry, they want you to stick your hand back in the jar because they're not gonna bite and burn and stab you like those other ones did. Here's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm closing the jar. I'm gonna throw the jar in the ocean and I'm gonna work on fixing my hand. Am I ever gonna stick my hand in the jar again? I really don't want to right now, but maybe that will change with time. But I think right now I'm tired of being told that I'm not good at picking M&Ms and that my standards are too high just because I want to be with someone who is kind to me and treats me like a human being. My orthodontist once told me that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It is starting to feel like insanity to keep drinking from the Kool-Aid that keeps poisoning me. So I'm not any.
Many men have begun to reject modern.
Yo, what the hell was this thing talking about? Jeez Louise. I'm just going to sum this up real quick. Number one, there's some dating fatigue there, right? She's tired of dating. She's tired of probably being out on the dating apps. Well, let me go back. One, she's bad at analogies and telling stories. Terrible. 1A and 1B. So 1B, she's probably having some dating fatigue. She's probably tired of being out there, getting her back blown out by a bunch of guys that she's attracted to because she can't keep these men, right? So she has the dating fatigue, and that's what she's talking about when it comes to she's tired of putting her hands in the jar, right? The problem is, though, is that the M&Ms are getting into the jar somehow. She's putting them in there, right? So she's putting these M&Ms or whatever in the jar that are the best M&Ms out there that she can find, which is fine. But those M&Ms got other things to do. They got other jars to be in. They got other places to go. They got other people to see. Other people are sticking their hand in the same cookie jar. So yes, ma'am, if you put your hand into that illustrious jar and try to pull out an M&M that is good for you, it's probably good for a lot of other people, right? So I think that's 1 and 2 right there. Number 3, ma'am, if you really want to find somebody, I'm sure you could, right? The problem is that they're just not the best looking M&M, right? They might have a little chip on their shell. They might got some chocolate showing. Pause. Just realized how that sounded. But you know, they're not the cream of the crop, right? But they still, you know, do the job. They still will treat you right. But she only wants the best, the shiniest M&M, and so does every other woman. You out of luck, ma'am. It's over. Let's keep going.
To keep drinking from the Kool-Aid that keeps poisoning me.
And now she's talking about
So I'm not
Kool-Aid.
any.
Many men have begun to reject modern women who they perceive as having previously overlooked them in favor of more exciting or unconventional partners. This phenomenon can be attributed to several factors that are reshaping the landscape of romantic relationships.
Aren't you gonna open the door for me?
Yeah, I was literally just about to.
As you should.
Shut that door. Shut that door.
I think I left him on the seat. 1 second. I just gotta move it for you. I don't want you to sit on it.
Okay.
Please drive off. Please drive off. Please drive off.
What age did you wake up and realize that you no longer wanted to be a strong?
She pretty much talks about like coming to the realization that she no longer wants to be a strong, independent Black woman. I would have to say that it's just now hitting me. I just turned 33, and I will say, I think it's this year that it's really hit me that I do not want the title of a strong, independent Black woman, okay?
Firstly, the advent of social media and dating apps has amplified.
Real quick, because I want to keep going with the video, but what I tell you, feminism does not work for these average, strong, independent women, independent Black women making $80,000, $90,000 a year, right? Because you got your little condo, your townhome, and you can drive a nice car, and you can go out for brunch on the weekends, right? Feminism has not worked for you. You are still a debt slave. It has not worked for you. It has not freed you from anything. You out here working harder than men sometimes. That's why they burning out. I'm telling you, talk to any woman over the age of 30, 31, 32, 34, definitely over the age of 35. They don't want to do this no more. They are tired. They burnt out. What happened? You was talking all that feminism-ish from 16 to 29. What happened? What happened? Crazy.
Okay.
Firstly, the advent of social media and dating apps has amplified the visibility of alternative lifestyles and partners, often glamorizing excitement and novelty. This has led some women to pursue partners who embody these qualities, sometimes at the expense of more traditional or stable relationships. As a result, men who may have felt sidelined or undervalued are now reevaluating their dating choices and priorities.
Hey, sir, I have a question.
Okay.
Do you want to go on a date and get naughty together?
No, I'm good.
You don't want to? Not at all?
Nope, sorry.
Okay. Do you want to go on a date and get naughty?
I'll pass.
Okay. I'm sorry. This is awkward because you rejected me.
Go find someone else.
Okay. Thank you. Rejected.
Oh, man, rejected easily. And then she calls him awkward. Yikes.
Additionally, there is a growing movement among men towards self-improvement and self-awareness. Influenced by various online communities and personal development resources, many men are now focusing on building their own lives and careers before committing to relationships. This shift in focus has led to a greater sense of self-worth and independence, making them less likely to settle for relationships that do not meet their standards or where they feel undervalued.
Can we hang out whenever you get back?
Now you want to hang out?
No, I do, yeah.
No, absolutely not.
I'm gonna go with someone else.
Go.
That's the guy that has had a crush on me since 7th grade.
That's a W Brown. That's wild, bro. He's been in the friend zone for 7 years and rejects her over.
Moreover, societal changes and evolving gender roles have also played a role. As traditional gender expectations are challenged, men are increasingly seeking partners who appreciate and respect their individuality and contributions. They are becoming more selective, prioritizing emotional compatibility and mutual respect over mere excitement or superficial attraction.
In DMs asking me if I'm single, dating, other variations of that. And I thought this new year would be a great opportunity to explain how I'm feeling about dating right now in more detail.
This shift in dating dynamics reflects a broader trend towards more balanced and equitable relationships. As men become more discerning in their romantic choices, it is likely to encourage healthier and more fulfilling partnerships based on mutual respect and genuine connection.
So I'm probably gonna get shit for this video, but honestly, I don't care. I'm gonna make it anyway. I wanna talk about guys that reject hot chicks and then slum. Meaning you dated a hot girl and then decided that hot girl was not for you and are now dating a girl that is not nearly as hot. Obviously, there can be a lot of factors as to why you reject a hot girl. This is just a very broad generalization, but I'm gonna say it. I think the main reason that men reject hot women is because they don't want to have to work that hard. I mean, I think it's no secret that hot chicks tend to have higher expectations and higher standards than maybe less attractive women. I know how that sounds. It sounds really bad, but I think it's just because, again, hot chicks are just used to being treated a certain way. So I do think oftentimes when attractive men meet attractive women, they're almost like, crap, I'm actually gonna have to put in a lot of work here. Whereas girls that are less attractive just don't require that much work. To be clear, I think that you guys should be putting in work for whoever you are dating, no matter what they look like. But I think that girls that are less attractive, I mean, they're gonna be more likely to just accept you for how you are. They're gonna appreciate you more. They're going to demand less. They're gonna make you feel better about yourself. Again, obviously, I'm sure that it's like you could break up with a hot chick because she's just an asshole. But if that were really the case, then why wouldn't you date another hot girl afterwards? And yes, I understand that obviously other things than looks are more important, and you could have matured and realized like, hey, I actually want to date somebody that I have shit in common with and makes me laugh and that's smart and cool and not just hot. But there are hot girls that have good personalities and that are smart and cool and you have things in common with too. They're just higher maintenance. I get it, you're gonna call me shallow and all of that, but I'm just calling it like I see it. Am I crazy? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me for more tips.
Jesus, man. What, bro? God, man, these women, oh God, look at that face. I didn't mean to do that on purpose. A couple things real fast. I don't totally disagree with this woman, but I do think some things real fast. I think number one, I think there's not that many hot girls out there, right? So in hot, I'm assuming in terms of like a 9 or a 10, right? Not 49ers, right? Not 4s who think they're 9s, right? So that's one, right? It's not that many hot girls out there. I think the other thing is, she's right? Essentially what she's saying is there's a difference between getting a woman and keeping a woman, right? Where I disagree with her is that it's not that I think guys are like, oh, well, it's just going to take too much to keep her or she's too high maintenance. I think guys are just realizing that the juice isn't worth the squeeze. I think they see the hot girl if they can get her, and I think they're just like, nah, I don't even feel like it, man. You're gonna be too much. It's gonna be too much drama. It's gonna be too much time and attention that's gonna take away from me and my goals and what I want to do. So I do agree with her on some points, but I do think that there's a thing where men are just like, look, it's not worth it. It's not the fact that I can't maybe keep her or I can't get her. It's just not worth it to do either. I think that's where men are. If they can get them, right? If they can get the 9s and the 10s. But let's keep going.
This evolving dynamic signifies a move towards relationships that are not just exciting, but also deeply satisfying and supportive for both partners.
Mom, I have been divorced now for 4 years, going on 5 years. So I have been doing this whole thing by myself, literally doing everything, right? For me and my daughter for the past 5 years. And I will say that although I am very happy with my life, I pray for a soft life, a life where the financial weight and the financial burden doesn't fall on me. Actually, I don't want a financial burden in our household, period, but I really do not want to carry the weights in that capacity at all. I want to be able to live a life of leisure, a soft life, a slow life. Like, I am so tired. And although I do feel like I carry it well, like, yes, you probably can't even tell that I'm tired because I do feel like I carry it well. That's not a good thing in itself. Like, it shouldn't be a badge of honor for me having to go through all these different struggles to be, great, right? Like, I look forward to the day where I marry someone that kind of relieves me of the stress of like day-to-day life. To be honest, I feel softer. I feel more feminine.
I was a feminist when feminism was about equality, about leveling the playing field, giving women an opportunity to find their rightful place, particularly in the public world, which was tremendously important and exciting when we achieved that. But what feminism today, to me, is all about advantaging women at the expense of men. And it's become very much caught up in the demonisation of males, presenting them always at a disadvantage. And I don't want to have any part of that. I was writing recently about boys' education, which is something I've written about for many decades. And I came across an article I wrote 40 years ago where we just started to notice how badly boys were doing vis-a-vis girls. I mean, we'd had 10 years of programs trying to help girls do better in the schools, which was fantastic. And a lot of girls who had been held back by traditional assumptions about, girls not speaking up and girls not doing well in maths were now beginning to shine, which was a fantastic thing. But what was becoming very obvious is there were also a lot of boys falling behind and not achieving their potential. We have really very much feminist ideology infiltrating all our education systems, systematic programs to continue to advantage girls, and no one taking any notice of the fact that boys are falling out in huge numbers.
That's all for today. I hope.
Last point I want to make really fast on these last two wonderful women here. This one right here, she ain't looking for love. She's looking for help, right? This woman looked like she's over 30. I'm telling you, women over like 25, 26. I think Kevin Samuels called it the danger zone, right? That 27 to 35, I think, right before they get to no man's land. That danger zone, they're looking for help. They're not looking for love. This woman is looking for help. She's looking for somebody to take the stress off after she obliterated her teens and 20s, more than likely. Last point. This woman here is more than likely still a feminist. I think she says she's not anymore. She didn't believe in it. Ma'am, feminism was never this grassroots project that you think it was. It was always about an attack on the church. It was always about finding ways to prop up women over men. It was always about witchcraft and goddess worship. It was never about, most women didn't even agree with suffrage, excuse me. They didn't even want it. They were like, no, we don't want to vote. Like, leave that up to the men. This standpoint theory, feminism theory, where They got you believing that everything was like, oh man, well, we got to give women equality here. We got to do them, we give them, you know, what they want here. It was never about that. It was always about goddess worship. It was always about the demonization of men. It was always about them having the right for baby deletions. It was always an attack on the church. Always, always, always. Don't let this fool you like they were just sitting in a huddle praying and hoping that the world would give them equal rights. No, that's not what it was. Anyhow, and she's right. Men are dropping out of school. They're dropping out. They can't take it anymore with the over feminization, the feminization of the school system. It's just not for boys. It's not. It's unfortunate. And they feel lost and they'd rather just go home and chill and play games or go into the workforce. But guys, I am going to leave it there. Thank you guys for sticking it out throughout the whole video. I appreciate that. Until next time, eat well, sleep well, be well. I'll see you guys later.